Your kindness isn't the virtue you think it is, my friend. In reality, it is a cage you've built for yourself, piece by piece. You've spent your life setting yourself on fire just to keep others warm, yet you feel invisible, hollow, and deeply disrespected. You feel the weight of a kingdom you've given away until you have nowhere left to stand. But why does your goodness leave you so empty? The truth is, there is a hidden leak in your spirit that is draining your life's blood. Today we stop that leak. I will show you how to build the stone walls your spirit needs to thrive. By the end of this story, you will possess a type of silent authority and a peace that no one can ever steal from you again. However, before you can reach that peace, you must understand the terrifying price Julian paid for being the nice guy. A price you are likely paying right now without even realizing it. Julian sat hunched over a glowing screen, his eyes red from the strain of a project that wasn't even his. He had spent hours fixing a colleague's blunder while his own dreams sat cold in the corner. It's a heavy price to pay for being the nice guy, isn't it? He was trading his life's blood for crumbs of temporary gratitude, feeling like a candle held at both ends by greedy hands. Every yes Julian uttered was a needle pricking his own reservoir, creating a physical pressure in his chest, a dull ache that intensified as his phone vibrated with endless demands. He had become an emotional landfill, a place where people dumped their shadows without ever offering a light in return. But here is the bitter truth. Despite his goodness, nobody actually respected him. They called him dependable, but it sounded more like they were describing a doormat than a king. His kindness wasn't a bridge. It was a suffocating cloak pinning his arms to his sides. Julian was mentally bankrupt, a weary traveler on a road toward nothingness. He desperately needed a secret, a way to drag his scattered power back into the shadows where it could finally breathe. But what Julian didn't know, and what you likely don't know yet, is that the path to this power isn't about doing more. It's about a specific type of silence that most people find terrifying. What happens when you stop explaining yourself? The answer changed Julian's life forever, and it's something we will uncover in the next moment. Julian reached the summit of the north, his mouth moving like a runaway train as he tried to list his virtues to Master Kalen. He was still trying to buy respect with the same currency that had made him a pauper, his selfless labor. But the master met his desperation with a silence so heavy it felt like it might crush Julian's ribs. For 3 days, Julian was forbidden from speaking or doing a single good deed. My friend, this silence was a torture far worse than any labor. Without an audience to perform for, Julian felt himself vanishing. He realized his entire identity was built on being useful. If he wasn't serving, did he even exist? Kalen's presence taught him that true authority doesn't bark to be heard or do favors to be seen. It rests in the stillness of a soul that knows its own value without validation. You think your yes is a gift, Kalen finally whispered, but a gift that is always available is eventually treated like common dirt. Julian was starting to see that his kindness was actually a leak, but he still didn't understand how that leak was destroying his future. The master was about to perform a physical demonstration, a symbol so powerful it would reveal the literal weight of Julian's wasted potential. What happened next on that sun-bleached granite slab will change the way you look at your own generosity forever. Kalen led Julian to a slab of sun-bleached granite and began a simple demonstration that would shatter Julian's worldview. He poured water onto the flat, borderless stone. The liquid spread in every direction, thinning until it was nothing more than a ghost's breath, never even reaching a tiny, thirsty seedling nearby. This is your current life, Kalen observed. When you have no boundaries, your energy loses its weight and its ability to change the world. You are trying to touch everything, but you are touching absolutely nothing at all. Your kindness is currently a mist, rather than a river that can sustain a soul. Then Kalen placed 2 jagged rocks to create a narrow channel. When he poured again, the water didn't spread. It surged forward with purposeful grace, soaking the roots of the plant. Julian felt a revelation that made his hands tremble. His limitless kindness was actually a slow-motion erasure of his own existence. He saw that a no is not a weapon of cruelty, but a shield, a necessary wall that allows a yes to actually carry weight. But as Julian watched the water flow, the master's eyes grew dark. He whispered that understanding the symbol was only the beginning. There was still a monster in the mirror that Julian had to face, a hidden truth about why he was really so nice. What Kalen revealed next is the most uncomfortable truth you will ever hear about yourself, and it is the only thing standing between you and true authority. Julian looked into the master's eyes and saw a reflection he didn't care for. He realized his giving wasn't born of love, but of a trembling fear of being disliked. It's a hard pill to swallow, isn't it? To realize your greatest virtue is actually a well-disguised vice. My friend, the nice guy, is often just a man too afraid to stand alone in the dark. Kalen leaned in, his voice vibrating in Julian's marrow. A no is not a rejection of the world. It is the holy wall that protects your yes. Without that wall, your yes has no value. You've been setting yourself on fire just to keep people warm who wouldn't even strike a match for you. True authority begins when you stop asking for permission to exist. Julian then performed the ritual of the stone perimeter, identifying his three most precious reserves, time, focus, and dreams, and building a high, jagged wall around them. He walked down that mountain with a heart as solid as stone. But while Julian found his strength, you might be wondering, how do you apply this stone perimeter when the world starts demanding your time again tomorrow? How do you say no to a boss or a spouse without destroying the relationship? There is a specific sequence of steps, a blueprint for your soul, that turns this story into your new reality, and I'm about to reveal it right now. Julian walked down the mountain, no longer a beggar for crumbs of gratitude, but a sovereign ruler of his own life. But you and I know that the real test doesn't happen on a mountain peak. It happens tomorrow morning when the phone rings, when the demands pile up, and when people expect the old you to say yes. Many of the stories you hear here aren't just stories. They reflect the invisible weight you may be carrying every day. The same pressure Julian felt in his chest before he learned to set his perimeter. If you're tired of holding pain, responsibility, and guilt that were never yours, I created a guide to help you build your own walls. I call it the e-book, The Weight of Stones That Are Not Yours. It's the digital blueprint for those who want to let go, set firm boundaries, and finally live with the lightness of a soul that has reclaimed its kingdom. Inside, you'll find the exact steps to identify your three most precious reserves and protect them with unyielding stone. But I want to make sure you have everything you need to remain sovereign. That's why when you get the ebook today, you'll also receive two vital tools. Bonus 1, Learning to Let Go, to help you release the stones you've been carrying for years without even knowing it. Bonus 2, When Saying No is an Act of Self-Love, the precise vocabulary for the nice guy who is ready to become a king. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment. Stop setting yourself on fire to keep others warm. The perimeter is set. It's time to bring your fire back where it belongs, inside your own sanctuary.